Hey, welcome back. How many episodes did I spend wandering around? It's stupid. You had to use the dark visor, of course. I have a feeling I'm gonna hate that stupid dark visor. But here you go. This is the place I was trying to get to, and I was like, well, maybe go in the dark world. Why are you so stupid? Oh, let's kill these guys. I'm gonna talk about the therapy note today that I forgot I had. I lost my... I don't know. I haven't been feeling very great about the therapy thing recently. Just haven't been... Maybe it's the person, but it doesn't feel like it is the therapist. It's just a bad therapist? I don't think so. I know sometimes it's just, well, you have to find the right person for you, and... I don't know. It still seems like it's just me, something that I'm not getting from it that I should be. Because I lost my health insurance card, but it's like an HSA card. It's a debit card for health insurance. And I was really frustrated about it when it happened. Like, oh, I'm so stupid, and I told the therapist. I kind of reminded myself of my dad, because he would get frustrated about stupid things, and I would think to myself, well, you shouldn't get so frustrated about that. Like, it's not a big deal. And I don't want to be like that. And I asked her, like, well, what do I do to not be like that? Pretty directly. And she said, well, it's not a big deal, so just don't think about it too much. And did you call the place to get a new card? And I was like, yeah. But is that it? That baffles me. That's the therapy, is to just say, well, it's not really a big deal, so don't worry about it. I know, but I'm still... I don't get it. I don't get is that it? Because I know that. But I can't control how I feel. I guess the idea is, nobody can control how they feel, right? But what am I... Just, I guess what she said is like, well, just keep reminding yourself it's not a big deal and you'll fix it. And just focus on what you have to do. I guess. But I was thinking... And she made me feel a little bit bad about this. I was thinking, well, is that a good environment? Like, if I had kids, would that be a good environment for them? For me to be constantly worrying about stupid stuff that doesn't matter? Shouldn't I try to fix that before I had kids? And then she said, well, you're thinking about having kids already? I'm like, no, I'm just... the thing I said was, well, I gotta worry about something. Like, I just tried to make a joke out of it. But then she never really answered the question. So I know everybody can get frustrated with therapy when they don't solve all your problems right away, and it's impossible to expect that, but it's still frustrating. Like, well, they could solve one of my problems. That's the elevator. Well, we got into a weird... I was starting to think weird about it. Like, she was almost saying... I was saying, well, my dad is kind of worrying about it on my behalf, because sometimes he would... I brought up the example of the car insurance, where sometimes the car insurance company doesn't send the card right away, and so I have an expired card in my car, and sometimes he'll forget to call them to get the to have them resend it. They're supposed to send it automatically, and he'll get really frustrated and be like, oh, I'm so stupid, like I'm so sorry, I'm usually on top of this stuff, and I told it to the therapist, and she's like, well, that's kind of good, like he's not worried about, he's just worried about you. And maybe that was just a bad example, but sometimes he would worry too much, and I would think, well, you're worrying too much about something stupid It doesn't really matter. Just like handle it and then it's over and done. Like, I don't care. How many times do I have to tell you? I don't care if... So what? I get pulled over. I have an expired insurance card. They give me... What's the worst that can happen? They fine me or something? Like, I mean, it's bad, but don't get so worried about it. Like, on my behalf. Don't worry about me that much. I'm fine. And the thing I used to think is, like... Well, it's almost... This might not be true. But I can remember having the thought of... It's unfair. It's unfair for you to get upset on my behalf if I'm telling you I don't care. Why don't you trust me? Why don't you trust that it's really not a big deal for me? I can't think of a good example. But that's how good my parents are. That's the thing that bothered me about them. Is like, they care too much about me. Something about my dad. Like, maybe his... I know my grandma can be a little bit much sometimes, so maybe, like, him dealing with my grandma was hard for him, and he could never trust her. Sometimes she would make him feel guilty about things and be like, whoa, I don't really care, but she actually did care. But he has no reason to believe that about me. I always tell him the truth, like, if I care about something or if I don't. Maybe that's not true. Maybe there have been times when I didn't tell him something that I should have been like, well, it's not a big deal, but it really was. Can't think of anything, but it's not impossible for my personality. So even if it never happened, he knows my personality, so he would just say, like, well, it's not, you just said it's not impossible, so I guess that's maybe true. Whoa, there's so many of them. That hit him, right? I'm gonna die. That's bad. That would be actually pretty bad if that happened. Okay, I don't want that to happen. And I think that it might... Oh god. When was the last time I saved? Shoot. Ow. Cricket. Jiminy Cricket. Ah! Get away from me. No. I thought I killed those guys. No. Do I use the dark beam or something? I don't know. If I'm about to die, I gotta leave. Oh, that's good. I guess this works pretty well on them. Ooh. Where'd he go? What's he doing? He's blocking it. Okay, was that it? Was that the note? That was it? I told her about losing my HSA card, and I don't want to be like my dad, but she said don't worry about it. And I thought, what about when I have kids? And that's it. I can get mad at Twitter again. That's always fun. There was a tweet that said, I wish we lived in a country that cared as much about Trump, Russia, than Biden dictate? Oh, Dr. Jill Biden being a doctorate. I don't want to see those comments anymore. They're bad and not helpful. No one is saying Biden should be impeached. It's a false equivalence. Trump was impeached. We do care. It's hyperbolic. Yeah, I get frustrated when I see those tweets. That's that priggishness of is that a word? Priggishness? Priggery? Priggery. I gotta use this stupid dark visor every time I don't know what I'm doing. I don't like Trump. I really don't like him at all, but you don't have to be a prig about it. It's not helpful. You're making this division between us worse. You're making the people who kind of like Trump dig in even deeper and being like, well, these guys are being so self-righteous. I don't want to be on their side. And it's not true. That tweet isn't true. It's a false equivalence. There have been some people who have gotten a little bit upset, who are dumb, about Dr. Jill Biden using the name doctor, even though she's not a doctor. She's like well, she's not a medical doctor. She's a doctor of English or something. And they're saying maybe something like, well, it's confusing and people think she's a doctor. She should just call herself First Lady or whatever. And that's dumb. It's obviously dumb. She's a doctor. She should be able to be called doctor. There's obviously some kind of ulterior motive where they just don't want people to think she's smart, so they want her to not call herself doctor, maybe. They're trying to trick her into not calling herself doctor. Oh, okay. These little guys look friendly, don't they? I'm sure they're just gonna... Really? They're not gonna wake up and start attacking me? Whoa. Inactive combat. Okay. What is this? That's cool. I know what's happening, but I don't like it. Oh. Reboot. That's cool. I like that. It short-circuited my systems. How do I hurt it? I want to hurt it. Ah, I can't target this stupid thing. There we go. Bizbit. Target very dangerous. Barrier shield and phasing. Power help protected from damage. Oh, I don't know. Oh, cool. Rizbit. Nah. Is there a thing? Is there a this thing? Okay. I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about that false equivalence of, well, the tweet was, I wish we lived in a country that cared as much about Trump being involved with Russia as... I mean, first of all, it's not true. People cared a lot more about Trump, Russia, than they care about... Nobody really cares about this. It's just not true. So, you're just being kind of a prig, aren't you? Because what you're saying is obviously true. But it's... What you're saying is true if it was true. If it was actually a thing. But it's not. So you're making it a thing to make it true, to make yourself feel better about yourself. God, did you follow that circular... Whoa! Logic. What the heck? I'm getting out of here. How do I hurt this thing? Can be damaged by concussive attacks. Boost attacks can disrupt its vortex spin. What? I'm doing concussive attacks, aren't I? Do the boost. Boost. Okay, that's nothing. Just go. Just go. I don't care. I don't care about you. I don't care. He's coming. Open the door. Wait, it's not opening. Ugh, what do I have to do? Oh, I got him. Why can I not hurt it? I'm supposed to do this, I guess. Like he spins, and then I do this, and then I do this, maybe. That was fun. They finally created a boss where you have to use the boost thing to damage it. That's interesting. The boost and the bomb. That's a well-designed enemy. I like that. And now it's open. Cool. I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to know that without reading the scanner thing, but I mean, the scanner thing's part of the game, so. But it just told me, like, oh, this is how you beat it. I have to end there already? Maybe one more minute. Rise up. I know one is saying Biden should be impeached. Yeah, I don't know how that Twitter person. I don't know how she's measuring people caring about things. How do you know that what you're saying is true? I wish we lived in a country that cared as much about Trump Russia than Biden being. It's like a punchy, like, ooh, look at me, but it's dumb. You're dumb and it's dumb. Whoops, I'm not supposed to say that. Oh, we're doing it. Can't block me, don't block me. There's two of them. Ah. I feel like this works pretty well against it. Ah. Reboot. Technical support. My Samus suit isn't working. Have you tried turning it off and turning it on again? Okay, I think I have to end. But I made some progress. Look at this, I progressed through 3 whole rooms. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm almost on the 6th. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye.